It's Lisa with Artful Fairy Designs, and today we are going to do this really cute gnome with a little joy that he's holding between his hands. And notice the first thing that I'm doing is I'm taking apart all the pieces and I'm painting the base first because that makes the most sense to make sure that you get that done. The color choices that I have will be listed below the video so that you can use them if you want to. So I'm picking them up to paint them just because I think it's better for you to see them, well, because it's hard to see with my hand over it. So, but I would advise that you always try to paint them sitting on the table. And if you can use some tape, like I said, that flip it over and use the sticky side to put all your stuff on, that's actually a little bit helpful. So I've sped this video up too a little bit than some of the other ones so that you can see what's going on. And you don't have to go through too much. So anyways, we are painting all the pieces. That's what we're doing first. And once we get all those pieces painted, then we're going to glue them together. And I always suggest using a tacky glue, like I use Aleene's tacky glue. A wood glue works. Even a super glue will work fine. You really want to avoid using hot glue because hot glue, if it dries before you have a chance to really get it down, because hot glue can dry really quickly, then you'll end up with your piece being raised up. You'll end up with a big bump of glue. So these projects are better off to use different glues. So notice that I'm checking for each piece where they go to make sure, and there's always score lines so that you know where to put everything. In this case, this one's a little bit different because see where the joy is, we haven't got there right yet, but where the joy is, there's two little inserts that'll go on top of where his stomach is right there, and then the joy will sit on top of that. They're spacers is what we call them. So those will sit on top of that. So what I'm doing right now is I've already painted the beard, and I'm taking that and I'm just, while it's still wet, I'm making some wavy little lines in there. You can just kind of see it. Some wavy little lines with a toothpick. That'll kind of give it some three-dimensional look for his beard. Then I'm going to put a second coat on here. And I think that's called Hauser green. It's a weird name. I don't know what Hauser means, but that's what we're using for his body. And you can use any color you want to. I like the green and red. I think it works well. That's the glue. We're ready to glue. Everything's dry. So notice I'm just putting enough on the back. And the good thing about using either the wood glue or the tacky glue is that it doesn't set immediately. So therefore you have some time to make sure that you have it in the right spot. It's advantage and a disadvantage. The only disadvantage is that if you just hit it just a little bit and you don't notice it, or it's not sitting directly on there and it does dry, then it's kind of stuck where it is. But it is great to be able to move your pieces around. So those are your two spacers. Okay, notice those are on there. And just glue those down. I'll wait before I put the joy on there. But then the beard's gonna go on. And that'll just go right up there like that. Easy, easy. And I always suggest too, when you paint like the base, see the green, try to go up as high as you can. You wouldn't have to go up to the hat area, but go up as high as you can, just because you just never know if you miss a little spot in there, and it's really kind of hard to get back in there once you've already glued it down. So he's got his nose. The feet throw me off, I'll admit. The feet, there we go. Yeah, okay, so we'll turn it around. I don't know why they throw me off, but those are the feet, his little shoes. Yeah, I don't know. I get up. Okay, so then the joy, you would put your hands on either end, and then you're going to attach that whole thing to where the spacer pieces are. And that's a great idea, that the spacers give you so that everything is at the same level, so that you would have it'll sit across the beard, and you wouldn't want it to be like misshaped, kind of just sitting on the beard, but not really like moving. You know what I mean? Like it would move if you didn't have those spacers there. So we're going to put some on the spacers, some glue on the spacers, and we'll get that joy right on there. And then there you go. Okay, that is easy peasy. They're real simple to put together. Just a matter of, there you go. Just knowing, how your pieces go together, making sure you have all the right pieces, and then painting them correctly so that you're not painting something and then finding you needed to get in somewhere else. Like if you'd painted the green and didn't get in there. But okay, so there's that. Oh, I don't know what that was. Um, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few little touches. So honestly, okay, so this first section of dots was perfect. I don't know why I decided to add more, which you'll see after, but that would have been perfect. Sometimes less is more, and in this case, less would have been perfectly fine. Just using a marker, a paint marker, which is much easier to do this. And I don't know why I went back in. And then I just add some highlight right across the top, some around the bottom and on top of his shoes. You can't really see it, but there'll be some on his hands. I'm not sure if I did it yet or not. And then his nose. Now this is a distressing crayon, and those are really cool. And you use the there you go. You use the whatever that thing is. I can't think of what it is. The brush. We'll call it a brush. Yes. You use that brush and you just put a little bit of the distressing color on there, and then you can add. I'm adding some black shading to it, which is a little bit harder to see on the video as it is in person, but just a little bit. You can go as simple as you want to and not do any of this stuff, or it's just nice. It's amazing how just a little bit of some shading or some dots, not 100 dots, just make all the difference in the world of how your project looks like. But again, you can do as simple as you want to, or as add a few more things. It's all up to you. All right, so now I'm just going to put the holly up there, and it's taken me a few days to finally think about what that is. There we go. And now he is all done and ready for some stuff.